Look at how z-scores affect the normal curve into finding how we could find areas. And the area is important because that helps us find probabilities later on, which is what we'll be looking at. Now, we already know that 50% of this graph here lies either side of the mean. So 50% this side and 50% this side. The graph is split in two from the point at the top there to the point down the bottom here, which is, for this pizza graph, we talked about this pizza graph again, is time equals 30 minutes. So it's a symmetrical figure. So what I want to look at is here, just for an instance, is here. Look at this one standard deviation. That is one standard deviation. We talked about this being, there's the mean there, and the standard deviation is this distance away from the mean. So what we want to do is try and find out the whole of this area up to that standard deviation, and that's the whole idea of what this thing does now. So if we can find out that area, it gives us an idea of probabilities later on, which we can talk about later on. So that's what we're going to do right now, one standard deviation to find out exactly what that area is. That for one standard deviation, the shaded bit in red represents 84.134% of the area. The total area of that red region is 84.134%. So by subtraction, this area here is going to be 100% minus that. 100 minus 84.134, which quick mathematicians is 15, well, that's going to be a tough one, 866, is it? 866%. I think that's right. So to the left of one standard deviation, this line here, we've got 84.134%, and to the right we've got 15.866%. So let's look at a negative. Let's look at the negative one standard deviation here. So there's the line for negative one standard deviation. So there's the mean there. And we know this distance here is one standard deviation away. So we're going to look up -1 as our z-score. All right, so let's go to the z-scores for this area here. Is what we're looking for to the left. It's always to the left, you see. These numbers are always to the left. And that area there is indeed 15.866%. Now, why are these percentages important? Well, because later on we're going to look at questions for this. For instance, this question, it might say, well, what is the probability that the pizza delivery will be 25 minutes or under for the pizza? So what is the probability? So we know that the target is 30 minutes. We want to find out the probability that this pizza delivery is going to be under 25 minutes. So we deal with area. We compare this area here to the whole area. And of course, this number here, therefore, becomes the decimal, therefore comes the probability. So the probability that he will become 25 minutes or earlier is equal to 0.15866, or 15.866%. So we now move to what we call our standard normal distribution table. If you look down the left here, the top of that column says Z. So all these here are our z-scores. We're looking for a z-score of 1. Remember, that's referred to the one standard deviation. So the z-score of 1 is this number here. And that is 0.8414. It's a decimal, 134, excuse me. 5 decimal places. If we convert that to a percentage, we get this, 84.134%. 0.134%. And that means positive table. Here's our positive table. We're looking for 1.21. So we know we've got 1.2 here, and we know we've got the 0.01 here. So it's this down here combined with that there. There's the 1.2, there's the 0.01. So this is the value we want here. And the z-score is 0.888, and then 686. So we know the value would be 88.686%. Positive. We've done 1.21 already, so mistake right there. Okay. 1.45 is what we're looking for. Sorry about the yellow, it's got a red. There's 1.4. 05's over there, so we're going to come down and across till we get the one we want, 0.92647. 0.92464. 1.79 is going to be there plus that one. So we come down and we go across 1.79 and we get 96327. And C. So these are the negative scores. Again, we've got Z scores. We're looking for -1. There's your Z up there. And -1 is here. And that's the value we want right there. So Z score that equals -1 will be 0.15866, and that's equivalent to 15.866%. Does that look familiar? Because it should do. Because negative scores, here's the negative ones here. We're looking for -2.12. So there's -2.1 there, and there's 0.2 is here. So we want to come down and across, and there's our value there. So we get -0.01700, and that is 1.7%. 1.21 is going to be on the book. 1.45. So we know that. So the -0.45 is what we're looking for now. Let's write it down. So remember it. There's -0.4, and 5's up the top there. So we've got to come all the way down the 5 line until we get to this one here, which is about there, and we get 32636. So we've got a question here. Question 1. Find the area to the left of the normal distribution curve for the z-score of 1.121. So we're looking for a z-score equal to 1.21. Notice we've got 3 decimal places here. So we've got to go. So this would be area equal to 88. Now you could do 2 decimal places, so it'll be 69% because it was 686. Question 2 here. Find the area to the left of the normal distribution for a z-score now of -2.12. So now we go back to the question. We get 1.7%, and that means on our normal curve, looks something like this. The curve looks something like that. We're looking for something like this on this very far end here, being the area we're looking for. That would be -2.12, which would equal 1.7% to the left. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's go. So we go to our question, 322. So question 3 here, we're looking for, find the area to the right this time of z-score equals 1.45. So if we look this on a graph, there's our normal curve there. So there's the mean. 1.45 is about here. And we're looking for this area here. We're trying to find this area out here. And we know the table will give us this area. So the table will give us the yellow area, and we want to find the blue area. So we're going to have to do some subtraction here. 0.92647, that will be the yellow. That will be this area. And we're going to do a 92.647% will be that area. And the blue area is going to be 100 minus 92.647, which equals 7.353, I think it is, which we could round up to 7.35%. Last question 4. This is the tough ones, but it's still pretty good. Find the area of the normal distribution between 1.79. So we've got two z-scores here, and we're going to have to come back with 2 percentages here. So basically, what we're looking at on our normal curve, there's the mean. So 1.79 would be there. Negative 0.45 would be there, and the area we're looking for is this area in between. And what we need to do is subtract, because we know that 1.79 will give us this area here as well, and this one here will give us just this one. So we just need to subtract the two. So let's do the 1.79 first. I'll try and remember that. So 0.96327, which is 96.327%. And as we said, that's the green and the blue added together. 36. Negative 0.45 is 0.32636. So 32.636%. And that is just going to be the blue area there. So if we subtract the top one minus the bottom one, we'll get the green area. So area needed, area equals 96.327% minus 32.636%, which equals 63.691%, which with 2 decimal places, 63.69%.